That's why a lot of times too, I tell people that if your intentions are right, then print yourself up pictures. You know, have a picture of the goddess that you connected with. Have a picture of that god that you're connected with. Take a picture, you know, an altar set up. You know, or you know, take the pictures of the different quarter candles. You know, that's fine. And just place everything out in front of you. You know, whether it's on your bed or on the floor. There is your altar. There is still your connection with that. And you can still perform that ritual. You know, and with the pictures, you know, granted, yeah, you can't take a lighter and try to light a picture of a candle. You know, it doesn't work. But, you know, at the same time, you can place your hand over that picture and still give that picture your energy. You know, and that's the whole thing with when it comes to altars, that it is your energy. And if you're doing it with other people, that their energy is also going into this altar. You know, when my first altar basically was just a piece of plywood, and I went out to the took a walk in the woods and found a root, and that was my god. I had a jeweled egg, that was my goddess. You know, I even took a small branch, there was my first wand. You know, so I mean, I took what nature was giving me. You know, I still made my altar and I still put my energy into that. And because of all these things being readily available, this would also help me to, you know, it forced me to sit down and begin to write a ritual. And, you know, I was fortunate enough that my high priestess and high priest and my grandmother and grandfather of the lineage took time and explained to me, these things, if you're going to do this, here are the things you have to have in there. These are the things you have to do. You know, grounding and centering is the most important. If you're not grounded and centered, your ritual is going to be all over the place. You know, and so they're like, these are the things that you have to say. You have to give thanks, you have to give praise, you have to do this, you have to do that. And to somebody new in this, it was like my mind was just racing and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and the first 3 rituals that I did all failed. They all failed. You know, so it's like, it took about a year before one finally went the way it was supposed to go, and I felt good. And I used to blame everybody else because the ritual didn't go good. But you know, when I had time to stand back and look, I could only blame myself. You know, it was nobody else's fault because I wrote the ritual. I spoke the words. I failed to see it go through. And the things that, once I say something, the energy I put into it is for that time and space. As soon as I close that ritual, I also forget about it, so that it could work its magic even quicker, so to say. You know, many of us, when we do rituals, we tend to keep dwelling on it and thinking about it and wondering, well, is it happening yet? Did it happen yet? So, you know, once it's done, it's done. You close that circle, it's done. You know, but I'm sorry, I'm going off track, and I apologize, but it's like just tons of yeah, for the most part, I kind of sort of covered both celebratory and magical, since that's the way that most rituals are broken up. The magical, it's all spell work, or if you want to, you want certain help from a god or goddess or deity, or, huh? Is everybody doing fine upstairs?
Yep.
Any questions yet? Or did I confuse you ladies up there too?
No, ladies like
I'm sorry?
ladies like to talk.
Oh, okay.
We're getting an exorcist effect here from it.
Yeah. the one side effect of this.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Work with what we got.
But yeah, on here I had wrote up basically 7 questions and 7 steps that you can do. It's like, what is the purpose of a ritual? Is it going to be celebratory or is it going to be magical? What is the deity that suits the ritual? So a lot of times too, with all the information that's on the internet now, and that is in a lot of the books, you can usually reference which deity that you can use for that particular ritual, especially if it's within the particular pantheon, that the pathway that you're following. Most eclectic Wiccans, if it sounds good to them as far as that deity goes, that's the deity they will use because it fits their purpose at